I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you are struggling or you're underwater or you need to catch up on bills, whatever it is, an emergency fund, cash out that 401k, okay? Like, you can always start over and save money again. But if you are stressed out to the point where you don't know what to do, cash out the 401k.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, guys, we got people withdrawing from their 401k to buy crazy stuff. I ain't gonna do too much more talking. Let's get right to it. Let's go.
I withdrew all of the money from my 401k, every
Wow.
single dime. Not dime, every single penny of my 401k I withdrew when I was younger.
Here we
And now
go.
I'm over 50, planning for retirement. And if I think about it too long, it makes me sick to my stomach. Let's go back. I
Wow.
always knew that 401k money was for retirement. But I'm in my 20s, my early 30s, and like, I got time. I'll make that up. And now I'm like, oh, you didn't have time, because before you know it, you're going to be in your 50s or your 60s. You don't think like that when you're younger. And in order to withdraw your 401k before you reach retirement age, it has to be a hardship. There was no hardship. When I saw all those zeros in my account and I had never seen that amount of money, I'm like, oh, I could take this money and shop and I can ball out. And that's exactly what I did. I withdrew my 401k money in my 20s and my 30s to do nothing but shop. And what's
That's crazy. And that's what a lot of people are doing right now, especially with social media. People say you shouldn't blame social media. Man, people are trying to keep up with the Joneses, and it's hard to look at your retirement fund and they tell you could take some of that money out, and you got credit cards that's due, people around you buying new stuff. You got to have some discipline. So I can feel what she's saying.
sad about that is the things that I bought, I don't even have it now.
Yep.
Take this piece of advice from me. If you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, whatever the case may be, and you're able to invest in 401k, max it out if you're able to. So if 5% is the max, then put the 5%.
Yep.
And please don't be like me. Do not withdraw your 401k money unless it's a true hardship. And they're going to tax you on it anyway. Let that money sit there, or you're going to be like me, planning for retirement and finding ways to try and make at least some of the money up. When I say I'm making major investments, 401ks, maxing out IRAs, and trying to do all these things to make up money that I
Yep.
took out of just being young and just downright dumb. Keep your 401k, plan for retirement, and max it out if you're able to. That's all I got, you guys.
That's facts. And a lot of people not even maxing. You know what I'm saying? They're not even maxing it out. And then most companies are match it. But people rather they rather spend the money on stuff that they won't even have 6 months from now. You know what most people say? I might not live that long, but you might live that long. You actually might live to be 65, 70 years old. And that's why I'm covering this video. I hope a lot of people see this video because I know a lot of folks who are suffering from cashing out their 401k. And I know some of you folks are a little older that follow my channel. Hit the comments. Explain why these young folks don't need to cash out their 401k to go buy a Gucci bag or to go buy a car or to do a whole bunch of nonsense, stuff that don't mean anything. You don't want to be broke when you in your 60s or 70s. You just don't.
Ain't gonna ever do is make me feel guilty about taking no 401k loan. I done got on here and I done broke it down as many times as I can. And it still got people out here who are calling me financially irresponsible for taking a 401k loan. First of all, it's my money. When I spend it, that's up to my discretion. People think you just take it out just because you can, just because it's there. I do not. I have a savings account. I have what you call a rainy day fund, that I often do things with when a rainy day comes. Now, keep in mind, other times, like when it's time to go back to school or it's Christmas time or something like that, and I don't want to take from my rainy day fund for those events, what do? I will go pull me a 401k loan out, have it set up to pay it back in 6 months to a year, stretch.
See, what people don't understand, there is a difference in taking out a loan against your 401k and withdrawing your 401k. There's a lot of penalties for withdrawing your 401k early. Now, you can borrow against it, and the interest rate may be lower than if you went and got a personal loan. But if you leave your job or if you get fired and you don't pay that money back, they coming to get you. Tax wise, they gonna get you. Now, leave it in the comments if I'm wrong. I don't know everything about it because I've never even thought about touching my 401k. But I've been looking at it because not too long from now, not no time soon, I'll be hopefully retiring. So I have been kind of looking at my retirement and kind of seeing where I am and see if I need to make any adjustments. But this will be a 40-minute video if I got deep into that. So I'm not gonna do that. But there is a difference between, getting a loan against your 401k and just completely withdrawing it.
It out real big, most of the time. I have a low every 2-week payment that I'm not missing up on my paycheck. I promise you. It's so small I can stay over an additional 30 minutes at work and make that money right on back up to pay it back. Pay my loan back in full, and I'm paying myself back with interest. I'm not speaking on a withdrawal. A withdrawal and a loan are two different things. A withdrawal means to take your money out of there permanently. You have no intention on paying it back. I don't take withdrawals. I do realize that I am getting older and I am going to need to retire with some money in my 401k.
See, the only downside to touching it, even if you're getting a loan or withdrawing it, is if the market starts going up, you're going to miss those gains. Even though you're borrowing it against your own money and you're paying yourself back, the gains may be higher. That's the argument about taking a loan out. A lot of people withdraw from their 401k to buy houses. Now, I think that makes sense. I can understand somebody doing that to get their down payment or whatever they need to purchase a home, because of course your home's going to go up in value. Some people withdraw from their 401k for the wrong reason.
If I can give y'all one piece of advice is take money out of your 401k. We're not going to live to see 50. The world is already showing signs that the tribulation years are coming.
Hold on, man. We're not going to live to see 50. Come on, man. That's not a reason to take out your 401k. Come on. That's crazy.
And one thing that I'm going to do for certain is take money out of my 401k. Because life is too expensive right now to be trying to have a little piggy bank. If we do get to 50, we will cross that bridge when we get there. But right now, we're in the present, and right now matters. Take your money out.
You see, somebody like her would be very sad when they turn 65 and they look at their retirement fund and they're getting $200 a month. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth it. And most people, that's a lot of people who think like this. Man, I ain't gonna live to see 65. I need to live now. I'm telling you, that's the wrong way of thinking.
Yesterday, Courtney and I were talking about how in 2017, when our only vehicle was repossessed while we were going through a bankruptcy, we cashed out her 401k, which was a few $1,000s at the time, to be able to buy this beat up 2003 Mitsubishi Galant that didn't even last us a year. And how a lot of people would see that as a waste. They would see it as a net loss. But being willing to give ourselves what we needed, which was the ability to move around and have some freedom and a means of generating some income for ourselves at the time before our coaching businesses were doing well, was really valuable. It actually was a catalyst for things starting to move and move forward in our lives. So we made that decision in 2017, early 2017. By the end of 2017, we had more money in our account than we've ever had before. I think it was in August or September of that month where we got our first car loan in a while and had a vehicle that fit our entire family and the dogs and everybody. And so we see taking out that 401k and buying that car, which wasn't going to last us for a long time, but did serve us for a season, as really an important step in things incrementally expanding and growing for us.
See, a lot of times people always justify their action. They'll come up with all kinds of ways to justify their actions. I always look at it as like you just have to do the math and see what works, because what might work for me might not work for you. So you got to look at the numbers and see, is it really worth me taking out this couple $1,000s out of my retirement to buy this car? It's not going to last but 3 months. Sometimes it don't make sense, but I'm guessing his situation, it worked out for him.
It's important to see that things grow incrementally. And if we had not given ourselves that step, the gap between where we were and getting the car that we had toward the end of 2017, it would have been too big for us to bridge. But because we just unapologetically and without judgment let ourselves take the necessary steps, we got to where we are today. Where we have a Jeep, we have a Mercedes, we still have that car that we bought in late 2017. My daughter drives it. And we can basically get any car that we want. It's so important that you don't judge yourself for where you are currently at, that you don't make it mean anything about where you are going, and then you just let yourself take the steps that's required to move you along the process. And a lot of them are small and incremental steps, and they don't seem very significant, but they add up over time.
Again, some people bet on themselves. Some folks like, man, listen, I got credit card debt, I got loans I need to pay, and I got $150,000 in my retirement. You got to make a decision. Do you take that hit, or do you work 2 jobs? Did you work a rack of overtime to try to make up for that money, or do you just go ahead and borrow from your 401k and knock it all out? That's a decision you have to make. There's a lot of people saying you should do it. A lot of people saying you shouldn't do it. That's a personal decision.
Hey, and you know what? I think I might have to cash out my 401k for it, because I've been trying to push out these videos and they've been stuck at like 100, 200, maybe 400 views. And you know, the Virgo in me is like, girl, you gotta find another way. Gotta find another way. And obviously working is a way. I'm gonna cash out my 401k. That should add another 2k to my 3k, which would be maybe 5k. And the car I'm trying to get, the Toyota Highlander I'm trying to get, well, I might have to choose something else that's more cheaper. But the reason I wanted that is because of the third row, and it was a 4-cylinder. 4-cylinder, third row, that was perfect for me. But now it's looking like maybe a 4-cylinder car. But if I want to get this car for sure, that means I need to start getting that money out, because it takes about a week for that money to hit your account. No. It comes in a check. So it's going to take about a week for that to come here. And I got 3 weeks into my birthday. And honestly, I might need the car before the 3 weeks, because my van stopped on me on the way to work today. And that was a little scary.
See, she in a position where she feel hopeless. Like she don't really have a choice. Because obviously she probably don't have someone she can borrow the rest of that money, to be able to buy the car she wants. So it looks like she's trying to justify to herself why she's want to go ahead and tap that 401k. When she could possibly take that 2,000 or whatever she said she had 2 or 3,000, maybe find a car for that, but it's very hard to find a car that's worth buying for 2 or 3,000, especially if you a single mom. You don't have anybody who can help you, fix the car if it got problems. So there's a lot of people in this situation too. They feel like their hands are tied. They have no choice, But again, like I said, you have to make a decision. I can't tell you what to do. But all I can do is try to show you guys videos of people saying why you shouldn't do it, people talking about why they did it, and the consequences of doing it. So if you're new to the channel, man, hit the like button, subscribe. If you like videos like this, let me know in the comments. I appreciate y'all watching. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.